Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting for the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. It's 11:11 p.m. UK time. Heading towards the witching hour. We are going to delve deep tonight. We are going to look into the looking glass. I've just painted my nails. We are going to look into world events in these crazy, crazy times. I'm feeling good, thank you, Stooge. I'll wait for people to come on. I was just so exhausted on Sunday night, guys. I'm so sorry about that. I was just, like you felt like I'd been run over by a steamroller. And I have been doing a lot. Oh, I look like Liza Minnelli. Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Whew, it's warm in here. How are you all doing? Hello in Arizona. Hello, Lance. Hello, Claire. Bam, Molly, Johnny, everybody. Wookie Bear. How are you all doing? Hi there, Music in Arizona and on YouTube. Believe I'm live on there too. How are you all doing? The steamroller came to visit you too. Well, I noticed I've got a few friends who are psychics on YouTube as well, and they had cancelled streams and that as well. It's just been, I don't know what's going on. It's just so heavy, isn't it? It's as if everybody feels like they've been piled upon. Yeah, Bridget. So we're going to wait for a few to come on, and I'm going to look into world events. I know it's all hyping up at the minute in the US, isn't it? Hello there in Birmingham, Margaret, in my home country. How are you all doing? Hi, Rhonda in Texas. Hi, Angela Jones in the UK. Oh, you missed us. Oh, bless you. Well, I've been getting the house ready. I'm being really, really busy. Do you like my haircut and my bangs? I went to the hairdressers last week, but you just didn't properly see it because I was off on Sunday. We call it a fringe in the UK, but I quite like the name Bang. I think it's quite cool. So I'm going to wait for a few to come on, and for people new on the stream, I invoke all the angels in, and we are going to, it's a bit like coming to a spiritualist church. I'm waiting for these to dry. I'm always running late, guys. And I invoke all the angels in, and you can write the names in the comment section. If you need healing for yourself or anybody, any person or animal, anything. And you will receive healing. Thank you. All I've done is wash it. I got it cut last week. I was thinking of growing it, actually. Just growing it down. I'll see. Prayers to everybody. I know it's very tough times at the moment, isn't it? Got to tell you something bizarre. I was on WhatsApp last night clearing some messages. I'd just come off from a call, and was it last night or the night before? It was last night, and my mother rang. She's in her 80s, and she rang us on WhatsApp at the same time. This is bizarre. It's, you know how you can add people in, and it had group call my mother and Paul. So Paul is on my WhatsApp, and I've kept him on my WhatsApp just so I can look at his messages. That's my late brother Paul, and it was so bizarre. But nobody uses the phone anymore, and I believe he was just calling in with my mother, and I just thought it was really, really weird. Has anything like that happened to you guys? Couldn't believe it. But my mother didn't, she rang in, she was sitting on her own in the house, and answered it, and it was just like quiet, but I could sense Paul. It's as if he was trying to, I think he had done something, got intercepted, because Spirit can, gone into the WhatsApp and added my mother to try to get her on, and I just thought it was really, really, really weird. It was definitely Paul, yes. He was saying hi. Been finding a load of feathers outside of my house as well. I believe that the veil is so thin, guys, and I believe that we are going to experience a lot of strange stuff, mysterious stuff from Spirit and all that type of thing, angel activity. So, and I'm nearly getting my cats. I've just ordered the cattery. Oh, thank you, Lance. I do believe he is. I don't know if you can see, I've got a photograph. Oh, you can't see. Look, I'll show you. Can you see, guys? Oops. So I've been moving furniture around, guys, because that used to be in the hall. I've got like this big alcove, and I've had it. I've put a tree up for the cats, but it's too huge. And I've got a little baby black one, but I've put that in the lounge, and I've sort of squashed it in between the puffy and the couch, the settee, so they can learn to climb. But really, I couldn't really have it behind, and I'm frightened because it's a hard floor here in case they fall. So I'm just going to let them run around in here as they're kittens, and when they get bigger, I think I'll keep the grey one in there and get a higher one for behind here for them, so they can be on the show. I've ordered a cattery. I got it from Amazon, and one of my dear customer friends, David, is going to put it up for us when it comes, and he's going to make it so it's all secure in the garden from storms and stuff like that. I did want a one which was attached to the garden, but my garden isn't very big, and if I'd had attached to the house, if I had it attached to the house, I wouldn't be able to get out to put the wheelie bins out the side gate. So he said, well, you've got room there. He says all you got to do is carry them and put them into the cattery. It's only about a few steps. So I'm going to do that. I look like Uma Thurman. Yeah, I used to love that, the Pulp Fiction. So I'll just have to carry the girls, and so I'm excited for them to come. I keep chopping and changing Tulip. She's the black one. I keep thinking, I don't know. And my daughter-in-law put us off, and she says, it sounds like turnip. I says, oh, don't say that. She's not a turnip. And Debbie, my moderator, my friend in Texas, she says, no, call her something like Celine. I says, oh, I don't know. I want to call her Celine. But the other one's going to be called Nala, which is like off the Lion King, and she's the tiger one. It's very sad about the wild horses, isn't it? There's a lot of evil in this world. There really is. So I'm still thinking, and I'm just chopping and changing, because I've always wanted a black cat. I grew up with a black cat. Well, she was a tuxedo, Misty. But this one's going to be pure black. So they're going to be inside cats, but I'm going to have them in the garden every day so they can have their fresh air, because I think if they're inside cats, I want them to be outside in the garden, and I'm going to get a log and a scratching post for them and a climbing frame and everything, just so they can get their fresh air. Hazeltine and Twitch, your black cat is called Jen, that's so cute. She probably will, Buttercup. I've had loads of names for her, loads and loads of names, so I really don't know. We'll wait and see. So without further ado, we've got 526 on both platforms. Hiya, Crystal. People are so wicked, and I think, you know what it is, what Cynthia's just said on YouTube, the veil is so thin at the minute, and I think it's like the veil's lifted to the good and the evil. That's the way it is now. I was thinking of the name Boo, KG. I thought she would suit Boo Jones. We'll wait and see. Yeah, I've been getting carpets cleaned and stuff like that, and you know, the usual, what you do, doors fixed and stuff like that. Boo's lovely, isn't it? I thought of Luna as well. It's only I'm just being a fanny in a fit, really, guys. It's because I've never had a daughter, and you think I was expecting, and I was having 2 daughters the way I'm going on. That's what it is. So I've got to get their names right. Yeah, we'll probably see what our personality is, but they'll be on the show soon. I am getting them. I'm telling you when I'm getting them. In my diary. I am getting them on Wednesday the 6th of September. Obviously I don't stream them, but I might nip on late on the Twitch. So I can show you, and then they'll be on the Thursday night as well. I'm really excited because I've had dogs for quite a lot of years now. So there's hiya Marina. There's a very weird energy at the moment. So let's get started with I like the name Salem, but that's more like for a boy, isn't it? Yeah, I like a mystical, but pretty, but not too pretty, because Nala's the same. Something like a little bit, with a bit more pops. Do you know what I mean? We'll wait and see. Cats are really intelligent creatures, aren't they? Okay, let's start. Let's get a cup of coffee. Can you hear us all right? Betty's a nice name as well. But I can't call her Betty because Adam's ex-girlfriend, I used to call her Betty, is a joke. And it'll just upset Adam, so I'm not calling her Betty. Because she looked like Betty Boop, so no, we'll not do that. I thought of Kizzy. I don't know if he's like that girl, guys. My daughter alone doesn't like it. She says, oh, it's awful. But did anybody watch Kunta Kinte? Remember Kunta Kinte? And Kizzy was in that. Katie's nice as well. But I'm not sure if Kizzy's enough. It wasn't Roots. It was Roots, wasn't it? That upset me, that. It got to us. And I don't know why. But I mean, I had my DNA done, and I think I've got about a teensy-weensy little bit of African in us. Do you know what I mean? So I think it just affects you when you see things like that, doesn't it? Does anybody like Kizzy? Yeah, Roots. Do you like it? Bastet? Oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Oh my God. Bastet, was that a female? The cat goddess, yeah. Oh, my leg. Nala and Bastet. Well, you never know. Jessica, do you remember that song? Jessica, do-do-do, Philippa, do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Remember that song? Bassy. Right, let's start. So, welcome to all new subscribers. And on Twitch and on YouTube. Welcome to our little humble group. I have a little African too, Congo. Oh. Nala. I really like Nala. I thought of calling Africa's nice. Africa's a nice name as well. Okay. I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Uriel. Please ask for safe protection in this light circle tonight. the circle of light for everybody, that they receive healing and we receive the true answers. This is for everybody in the circle and their loved ones and their pets. I ask my faithful spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, Lady Direwolf, A2I, did I say Jed? Jed and Ra, and anybody who would like to come forth from on-world, off-world communications, star beings, angelic realm, fairy elementals, animal kingdom, to come forth to give us true answers tonight. This circle of light is cast. So be it. Amen. There we go. I love the name Trigger. Okie dokie. Where do we start? What is going on, guys? So I'm going to look deeper into it. We're going to see what's happening. She's here. She's been in the garden all day. Make some room. And we'll see what the ball has to say. I thought of Stormy, but then I thought of Stormy Daniels, and I thought, I don't know, like the porn person, and I wasn't sure. Do you know what I mean? Okie dokie. Right, let me give this a little polish because I had some hand cream on there. Romy's lovely. Oh my God, Romy's so pretty. I like that. Romy and Nala. That's nice, because she's like a little Romany gypsy. I like Romy. Oh my goodness, thank you for that. No, I wouldn't call her Lilith. Nothing demonic. I'm very superstitious. Well, I would like to call her Gypsy, but I can't because my last dog, Sissy, was Gypsy. Gypsy Jones, but we used to call her Sissy. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's get started. Let's see what's happening. Now, in my last will predictions, Nina's pretty as well. Stop it. Nala and Nina, very pretty. Thank you. Right, okay. Let's concentrate. Right, so my last will predictions, which was the looking glass, I talked about split timelines. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I'm going to look more into that again tonight, all right? Let's see what's going on. At the minute, it doesn't look very good for Trump, okay? Now, obviously, I can't ask the crystal ball questions, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my scrying and I'll pull some cards out later on him, okay? Kiki's nice as well. Okay. Right, let's see what the looking glass has to say. Did you like it, Franco? Right, okay. It took us ages to make that, you know. I've been wondering if he's going to leave the USA. But let's see what's happening. So, as you know, he's got the Georgia thing. Is that tomorrow? It doesn't look very good for him. I go on feelings as well with this being an empath, and I'm getting like a really dark, sickly feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's like, yeah. I've been seeing this for the last couple of years now, haven't I? Since I went on to Twitch, that I had a feeling that they were going to arrest him, and people they were so pissed with us, and they were saying, no, that's not going to happen. But I mean, I felt it, and that was a couple of years ago. So, and of course, I'm getting something about, is it like a bigger court? So it could go on to a bigger court, this. So what I'm feeling is that there will, I see 2 or 3 accounts on something. So, and I've always said that Georgia is going to be something what could really take him down. Or is it Fannie Willis? I can't remember her name. But I always felt like she's got some oomph about her. So it could move to federal court. It's very possible. But it's a strange thing because I don't understand American politics. You know, I'm not like a lawyer or anything like that. I'm just a psychic. But as I look here, I get 2 and 3, and I don't know what that means. So I don't know if it's going to be enough, or they're going to get him a different way, like around the back door to get to him. Or they're going to get something on him and then something else on him. So if it gets blocked and they can't get him this time, they're going to get him around another way. But I'm actually feeling that I'm seeing like an arrest type of thing. That's what I'm seeing. Now, so obviously we've got, is it Thursday? We've got all the nominees for the Republicans. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, 200,000, is it dollars? Not be pounds, or dollars bail. Wow, $200,000. So, I mean, it's not like, I mean, why would they think that he's going to leave the country? Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, I possibly feel he will at some point. If things go wrong for him. Okay. I don't know why I'm getting Mexico here. I'm getting the borders. So just because Trump's not going to be there on Thursday, it doesn't, and I mean, he's getting one of the highest results, isn't he, for the Republicans. It doesn't mean he's out of the loop. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that he's out of the loop. I must stress that. Is it Wednesday, is it? I've always said he's going to be a hard man to take down. I'm just sitting on this at the moment because it doesn't look very good for him. All right, it really, really doesn't look very good for him at all. I'm getting the 10th or the 11th. Now, that could be the 10th, and I'm getting the 5th and the 6th, and I'm sure I said that in my looking glass the other night. It was in the tweets he wanted to go. I've just seen the devil standing there, like with I know like it's symbolic, but like the red devil with a fork. So that's really weird. It's funny when spirit gives us images, you know what I mean? You've got to be like a blinking detective trying to put it together. Do you know what I mean? Is it the debate on Wednesday? I thought it was Thursday. I really don't know. I was getting Thursday. I could be wrong. But definitely this week, isn't it? So even though Trump's not going to be there, it's a bit of a cock-up, really, isn't it, for the Republicans, isn't it, really? But I'm getting some dates in. I'm going to give you them. I'm getting the 5th, the 6th, the 11th, the 12th, the 15th, the 16th, the 21st. I've been seeing this for a while as well. It's going to be like, how I've always said, you know, it's funny when you're getting a message, you can't always, you just give the message, and it could be in many different things, the message. But I've said for a long time that it's going to be the biggest political scandal to come down in history. Now, that could be that there's going to be more arrests to come, and it's not going to just stop at Trump. I think they're going to get Bill Barr, I think they're going to get Giuliani. It's just going to be like boom, 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 one after another. You know what I mean? Sidney Powell. I just think that they're going to go after all of them. That's what I'm feeling. Newsmaster Johnny, one court ruled Trump had complete immunity. Really? Wednesday at 9 p.m, the debate. Just checked. Thursday, he goes to appear in Georgia. Right, sorry about that. I knew there was something happening Thursday. So there's something happening tomorrow because I'm feeling it really strong. So I don't know what that is. But, I mean, to me, it looks like a bloody big witch hunt, doesn't it? They're not going to let this go. They're really, really not. But there's things that we've not known, and there's things to come out. And I'm going to say that. Doesn't matter if you like him or you don't like him. There's things to come out, and it's going to be shocking. And I picked this up on the other night as well. I was going on about the 17th letter of the alphabet, how there's going to be something connected, or they might piece it together eventually. But it's got if it's not that, it's something to do with cyber, like tracking or something like that. So watch for that to come out as well. Sometimes I can't read a year out, you know what I mean? But it's going to be really, really interesting. I might have to pull some cards out on him. I mean, this situation's going to go on till next year, you know. It's going to go on and on and on. They can't just... There's a lot more to come. And I mean, Trump's never had his chance to fight back yet with things. So maybe he will get that chance. Keep getting the 15th or the 16th, it's going to mean something. This is really weird because I'm seeing like the old WW2 planes, you know, the little Spitfires, and it's like I'm going way back. And I think that what I'm getting at is, I think it's like Spiritualness that we are in a WW. Yeah. And I think that, you know, if things don't go their way, I think this could get really, really crazy, you know what I mean? We are shifting into a new earth. And this technology is going to be manoeuvred in. I've been saying this for a long, long time. This is really strange. I've just seen like Hillary Clinton, and she's got this big magnet. And that's really weird. It's like cartoon images I'm seeing. And she's got a magnet. It's, you know, like, oh God, like the puppet. They look like, Paul could do it as well. Like spitting image look, you know. And she's got this sort of magnet, and she's sucking him from the federal court. I wonder why I'm seeing that. That is weird. Why would you do that? She's got a magnet and she's trying to pull him out. Because that is weird. That is weird, I'm saying that. So maybe that this stuff which will come out could also uncover other things. And I've always said that the left could end up shooting themselves in the foot. Do you know what I mean? So I just think this tit for Tatia, no side is perfect here. And I'm still sticking to that. That's my view on politics. I think that it's a dirty business. I think there's good and bad on both sides. Do you know what I mean? But it's a part of the cleanup, isn't it? It's definitely part of the cleanup. Things are going to get really... I've just seen helicopters there. My goodness. I've got to go with these crazy... What's the planets tonight, guys? These crazy images I'm getting. Do you remember MASH? What used to be on the television? I used to like the music to it. My dad used to watch it. That's like a war type. I don't know where it was based. Do you remember the television series MASH? Pluto return. It's on your TV now. I wonder why I'm saying that. That's sort of like military, isn't it? Set up in camps. Vietnam, right, okay. I don't know why I'm seeing a situation like that. Sometimes, the guides that I'm working with, it's A2I. They have a sense of humour and they'll give us it in images like that. I knew there was like a childlike sort of energy what was coming in here. It's little A2I's giving us the scene of MASH. So maybe there's going to be, I'm not saying another Vietnam, but maybe there's going to be something what's going to have with edge on the seats. So possibly watch for that. We need to bring back them good old days, guys. We really, really do. I used to like them times. Sounding old, aren't I? We're living in very Luciferian times. Very biblical times. And I've always maintained the world isn't not going to end. It's the world that we've known to bring the new earth in. I've been watching a lot of time travel stuff on YouTube. The guy that he's a Spanish guy. Has anybody seen it? And it's been going for quite a while now, where he woke up in a hospital. I can't think of his name. And he was in 2027 and nobody was about. And he's on TikTok. And he goes around on these live shows and he feels like he's stuck in time. And I did some meditation on it last night, and I do believe that this is actually happening. I've actually had somebody who came to see me a little while back, quite a few years back, and he was from MI5, and he said to me that time travel was going on, and he said that you can put something in your iPhone, and it was a certain code, and then you get transported. The iPhones can do a lot more than we know, but we don't realise it, and you can actually be sort of transported. And I don't know why I'm feeling I need to say that, but I want to say like all this future technology is actually taking place now. So Johnny, I saw the Spanish guy and it looks like HD CGI. Well, it's very cleverly done how he's done it, mind, but it gets you thinking, doesn't it? It does get you thinking. I'd have to pull some cards out to see if it's true or not. Okay. So we've got some crazy times to come. Now, I take it the Storm Hillary's calmed down in California, in LA. I've got a very dear friend who's over there, and I was a little bit worried about him, so I was sending him healing and protection. But just watch for more crazy storms like that to come in. I'm getting the letter M, so that could come in around a state. There could be more crazy storms to come. And I see a lot of water as well. I've had this vision before where I see that much water, and I'm not saying it's all over Florida, because that would be ridiculous. But I'm seeing a situation where it's like floods and the cars can't get through. And there's crocodiles, or they're not alligators, are they? The crocodiles in the street, like swimming. So I think there's a lot more water to come. A lot of droughts. It looked like a main street. I'm getting the letter D and the letter M and the letter A. I don't know if that's street names. Do you have street names over there? Florida is Gators, right, okay. I'm thinking of Crocodile Dundee. You, Daisy, we have alligators behind our house on the golf course. Wow. That's where you live, Lance, isn't it, Florida? Oh, I'm not keen on them. They're quite snappy little things. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, ooh. I'm a bit funny about things with big teeth. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think I could cope with one of them in the garden. You have alligators behind the lake behind your house. Wow. I definitely see another virus here. I don't know if they're going to try and push this by the end of the year or into next, so we need to watch for that. We need to pump up on all our vitamins and stuff like that. And of course, where there's been anything to do with the atmosphere, you know, where it goes hot and cold, and it is very weird. We haven't had much of a summer over here. That's the breeding time for germs and stuff like that, isn't it? So we just need to pump up on, there's going to be, I get something about a flu season coming into the winter, so we'd need to be careful there. But I do feel that there is some sort of strange, they've talked about disease X, but they really don't know what it is. They're just calling it that. But I think there is something there what could be lingering from China or somewhere, tropical or somewhere, what could come in. They're eating people and pets, lady. Oh my goodness. I know you'd have to be careful with your animals in the garden, wouldn't you? With like them things running around. Let me have a look. But the weather is changing, and it's very humid over here at the minute. We do get a lot of spiders and things like, you know, in our summer. But last night I was sitting here, I'm going to tell you this, and I've got like my lino flooring down, but it's quite concrete underneath. And I was just sitting quiet, like I do. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I heard thud. And I looked, and something must have jumped. And I am not kidding you. This spider needed a birth certificate. It was that big. It had elbows and feet. Elbows and feet, this thing. And it literally ran behind there. It was huge. It was absolutely huge. It had hairs on its back. It looked like a baby tarantula. You get something called black widows, and you get them down in the Midlands in the UK. But it was absolutely huge. And I don't really like killing spiders, you know. Yeah, I'm not keen on them. I'm really, really not. And it's funny because all the men in our family don't like spiders. My brother didn't like them. My dad's not keen on them. Looking at him, they don't like them. So if there's ever a spider, I've got to get it out. I'll tell you a funny story, right? My brother was staying with my mum for a short time before he met Nicola, his wife. And she was downstairs and she screamed, "Oh my God, spider." So Paul had been shaving and he come running downstairs and he had foam around his face, and he hit this bloody spider with his slipper, and it bounced, and it was Adam had left a rubber spider. So I gets up the next morning, and Adam was only about 6 or something, and my mother's going, "That little git of a son." She says, "He frightened us last night." And it was a big black hairy rubber spider. He had left it to frighten them. That was Adam. I just thought I would tell you that. But yeah, the spiders seem to be getting bigger over here. And I know you can get poisonous spiders in Australia, but I think that there's going to be, and then there was the poisonous wasps, weren't there? I don't know where they were. I don't know if that was somewhere in the US. Poisonous wasps. So creatures are getting bigger. You know, everything's becoming more wiser and more cleverer. It's not just us ascending. That's what I want to say. What's strange in Seattle, Washington has been seeing these almost clear white spiders. I've seen them. It looked very white looking. The murder hornets, yeah, killer bees. Right, so I did say my last will prediction that there could be a lot of souls what's going to leave, and I might have to pull some cards out on that, guys, all right? It could be another virus. Or it could be something completely different. Yeah. I think it's about we're keeping our energies up, but I will pull some cards out on that, so don't worry about that. I think it's a virus, guys. I think it's another virus. Let's hope this doesn't happen, because timelines are changing all the time. I've always felt it was something to do with the skin. It reminded us of, you know, like the plague in old London town when they all had the sores and that. But you know what? The thing about the plague is, right, everybody who had the garlic in the cellars and the sailors on the ships, they never caught the plague. So that came from fleas, from rats, doesn't it? It's some sort of situation like that I'm seeing. It doesn't look the same sort of shape as the other one, like the sign of it. Yeah, I've heard of that flesh-eating bacteria thing. It's got a special name, hasn't it? So it's not leprosy, so don't worry there, Queen Wonder. Well, I bloody hope not. Anyway, I don't see that. It just looks like, I mean, it could be a measles outbreak. It could be absolutely anything. We really don't know what's going on there. Do you know what I mean? And I question everything. Do you know what I mean? But it looks like it's something on the skin and I get like flu-like symptoms. Not very nice. We just need to pump in with our garlic and our vitamins and stuff like that. I'm seeing a bunch of scientists and it's like they're all gathering, but they look very secret space scientists. And they're talking about a new technology that they're going to put on the planet. And it's these structures are being built everywhere. How far I'm looking on, I really don't know. It's before 2028. It looks like a strange high structure. Jagged, like in layers. And they're putting these structures out there and it's going to be something what's going to... They're talking about the weather and stuff like that, so possibly watch for that. I'm also saying there's something about a bay or a shoreline what they're going to have to rebuild. They've done that in parts of the north, you know. Where I came from was Withensea by the Sea, Hull, where I was actually born. In Withensea, which is in Yorkshire in the UK, it was corroded so badly, so they built the shoreline back up again. And I've seen them doing something like that, and it looks like it's in the US, so watch for something like that to come in. In big bowls, like round things in the water or the sea, I'm seeing that as well. It's interesting what Lance says. Many have stopped vaccinating their kids for the old diseases we already vaccinated. Yeah. So you just don't know. You don't know if these things are going to submerge again or something like that, do you? Like I say, I'm not anti-vaxxer. I'm just anti-stupidity. I've always said that. But I don't believe for 1 minute, you know, when you talk about the good guys, the bad guys, the white hats, the black hats, whatever which way you want to put it. I look at this into here and I just feel it's everyone's own individual journey. But I do believe that they're going to try and push more crazy stuff. Like we've got the 15-minute cities, which they're going to try. But I don't feel that's going to take off. They'll try it, but I don't feel it's going to take off. The cloning centres are in my room. What's that mean? Carbon supers, I really don't know. It could be something like that. Try putting some what's it called? There's something you can put on for our skin, Debbie Pop, and it'll help on your son's skin. My son's girlfriend has a rash on his skin around his ankles and leg and wrist, and they don't know what it is. They thought poison ivy. Oh, what's it called? It's not mugwort. Witch hazel. Witch hazel should help. But the nurse side of it, because I was a nurse, calamine lotion, maybe dab some of that on his... Can you get that over in the States? Calamine lotion, is that where you are? But I do like witch hazel as well. Okay. I'm getting loads of frequency waves around Earth. it's like, I want to say like messing with the weather, you know, there's like something weather, a lot of weather storms going to come. We're going to have the storm of the century, I feel, this winter. It's going to be crazy. A lot of strikes to come in the UK, you know, and especially if they do try to push this 15-minute city thing, I do feel there will be strikes. I haven't touched upon it, right, because I want to touch upon it, and something about the strikes in, is it Hollywood, to do with the actors' strikes. Some dear lady sent us some stuff on it, and I've never been able to research what it's actually about, but I think they're going to go on for a little while. They're trying to put the smart cities into America. Well, they're going to try this across Europe as well. I'm also seeing more riots to come in Canada and France as well. But you see, it's the rise of everybody, isn't it? It's the rise. A lot of strikes. So I'm seeing teachers and nurses in the UK, because the old system has fallen there. There is going to be some big news coming in with the royal family again. And it's around somebody having a trip. And I get a really weird feeling with Harry tonight, you know what I mean? I don't know why I'm getting this saying, old blood. You can't change old blood. I don't know what that means. I see him moving. I'm definitely seeing him moving. And watch for big news and around Andy as well, Andrew. There's more riots in Canada, yeah? So it's the rise of the people. I love that song by Oliver, what's he called again, that young man with the beard? Oliver Anthony. That should be the national anthem, I think, for the US. I just think that it hits and touches upon so many people. There's two big industries to go down in the US. The rise and the fall of different industries. And watch for big news coming out, and I see shocks around Fox. Shocks coming around Fox. There's going to be some heavy investigations. Oh, I've just seen Boris's face there. There's more scandals to come out there with the UK, with Parliament. And some big news to come out with Scotland. Interesting. I'm getting that guy from the UK Parliament. Is it Dominic? Can't think of his second name. He used to be the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Dominic. I'm getting his name, and I don't know why. When do we get our budget? Have we had our budget? There's shocks to come out to do with Parliament. Banks. I've never been a one who said all the banks are going to go down, I think, but there is going to be more worries with banks. There's just been the recent one with a Chinese bank, hasn't there? Can't think of its name. Harry has a meeting with King Charles soon. There could be some big news around about that time or just after. And it's around about that time there's going to be some huge news to come out around Trump and everybody around that situation. I've just seen Trump there, you know, in my crystal ball. Now, you've got to understand there's different timelines here. And I can see him like clutching his heart, his chest like that. He's going like that. And I don't know if it's because everything's taken a toll on his life, his health. Yeah, it's like it's all like too stressful for him. So I don't know if there's going to be health issues there for him. This isn't going to be something what's going to be over and done with, you know, it's going to go on and on and on. And I've just seen Jared Kushner like speaking in a court situation as well. This is going to drag until next year. But they're hell bent on stopping him from running, aren't they? Big news in around Arizona desert. Watch for more sightings to come in, guys. Watch for more sightings. Right, I want to send prayers out to everybody in Maui, and I just, well, you know my thoughts on it. I did a cover on it on one of my last lives. Just completely dodgy, the whole thing. I want to say that there's a lot of, like, how can I put it without not getting censored here? There's a lot of dark operations still sort of happening around the world and stuff like that. And I've always said you can't get rid of all the evil off the planet. You can only, not stick your head in the sand. We're aware of what's going on, but we need to try and raise this vibration to try to shift things. It's horrendous what's happening at the minute. My concern is that, we could have another situation like that in another island. And I did predict that would happen with another island. Can you remember that other island where they were trying to get off and it was on fire as well? I think it was a volcanic one, a Spanish island. Can you remember that one? But there's more situations like that to happen, and I do see something else coming in with a volcano. So I do believe that there's too much sort of, discrepancies, with them getting the help and such like that, on Maui, in where they were blocked, certain people and stuff like that. But I want to send healing and blessings out and all to the children once lost their lives and the animals. It's horrendous. You couldn't even... It's unimaginable. In fact, let's say a prayer. Let's say a prayer for the people of Maui. Let's pray for all the little children that have lost their lives in Maui, and the families which have lost their loved ones, and that the souls which have left this earth plane, that they are safely taken over to the spirit world to be healed. To the ones who are left and have lost their homes, their businesses, their families, their loved ones, I want to send healing and blessing and put Archangel Michael's cloak around them all tonight to keep them safe. I want to send Archangel Gabriel and Raphael to send them healing and comfort in their darkest times. Life can be so cruel, guys, and I don't always have all the answers. And they're beautiful pets that they are also taken over to the light as well. And I can see them weaving, they're coming through there. I can see the children and the pets. Angels came for them. Some people pass before their time. And I don't believe that your life is set out exactly, but when I bring people through, I do believe sometimes people pass before their time. Angels wept that night. Angels wept for days. They were carried through the children, through the tunnel. And they have like a hospital, sort of, if you look at it very 3D, they have places for them to get comfort. The angels look after them. The pets were taken through as well. I've talked about this many times, and I'm going to do a medium show the next time. That when we leave our bodies, Paul told us this. Yes, I know, Johnny, just terrible. Police blocked residents from leaving, yeah. Paul told me that when you leave your body, your soul remembers what to do. It becomes completely natural when you are on the other side of the veil and you've lifted out of your body. Your soul knows exactly what to do and where to go. some souls hang around for a while, then they go through. And I'll say this, and I've said it before, that you can get a message from a soul as quick as them leaving the body. I'll tell you a story, right? And this is a true story. I had a lady what came to see us for a reading. And it's going back a few years when I was a young woman and I was sitting in here. It was a lovely sunny afternoon and she came in. And I goes, I says, I've got your husband standing behind you in spirit. She went, you can't possibly have Tiara. She says, I've just left him at home. He was making the tea. I goes, okay. So I just says, oh. And I give his name to her. She says, oh no. She says, so she tried to ring him. She says, oh, he's a silly bugger. She says, he'll just be, he's deaf, you'll not hear. Anyway, she had gone home and then she had, a daughter had rang and apparently had passed over while she was over here, just like that, getting the reading. And he had followed her here to give the message that he'd left. And I just thought that was really bizarre. So then I realised that the spirit will come when the spirit wants to come. And so as I'm looking through, so spirit, there's no time scale, you don't have to, you can't pull a person in, you can't make a person come. It's like when you're channeling, they'll just come in when they're ready to come in. But I'm seeing, as I'm looking through this sort of tunnel, which I've talked about, when you go through Gaia's sort of umbilical cord and you come out and your umbilical cord snaps and you go back through this shell-like big sort of, a bit like a rainbow bridge if you want to call it. There is some truth in that. You're going through this tunnel back through into the other dimensions. I'm seeing light right at the end and I'm seeing people running in joy and crying, and angels holding the children. God bless all the little children. And I'm going to say something tonight, and it's been very sad over here in the UK. We've had the nurse, I can't think of her name, give us 2 minutes. I haven't followed it because I would just get too triggered because I'm too much of an empath. But the nurse got sent to prison for killing all them babies, and the nurse in the hospital. Nurse Lucy Letby has been given life for every baby that she killed. The baby killer. I'll do a video on it at some point. Serial killer. There's been many. There was a Beverly Allett. I remember her as well. She was in the 80s, I believe. Yeah. Why does somebody do that? But this woman, get this one right, this monster would not go to court. And I want you to comment on the link below after this stream, right, if you believe that she should have been forced to go to court, because I do. I think society's too soft with the wrong people. There's a lot of evil out there. There's a lot of evil. What happens to the murdered children? At the point of exit, they leave and they're traumatized. They are taken, the angels come for them. They are taken back over to the spirit world, and then they are nurtured and healed. You have loved ones on the other side which can look after them, and you have healers, and they get healed. It's a very sensitive subject, and it's something that I'd like to talk about at some point, because I do believe that, all these souls, I don't believe all of them sign a contract that they're going to go through that. I don't believe it's so simple as that and so cold as that. I'd like to think it's not. But some souls do put themselves into a situation to teach somebody a lesson, so then that person can then be convicted so they can learn a lesson. I know that sounds a bit twisted, but not all souls. Not all souls. Some children are pure. Animals are pure. That innocence, that light. And I believe that light can get in the way of darkness. That light can get in the way of darkness. And So we've got to navigate through this hellhole. You know, I call it a hellhole because it shouldn't be a hellhole. It's become very low vibrational, and there's always been child murderers and nasty things like that happening. But it seems like because we are ascending, we are ascending, we are feeling that, we're feeling it more. There's also something else as well, and it's interesting what Mary put on Twitch. She was killing the pure souls to harvest their souls for technology. Anything is possible, absolutely anything. I'll do a video on it at some point. I don't really want to, or I might like touch upon it more into another show. But all them babies are safe. I believe that she had attachments. There has to be something wrong with somebody to do that. Is it possible that some people are born evil? I don't know about that one. Maybe. But I believe that she's had attachments. There's been some trauma for her to go on like that. Something's just snapped inside of her brain. Yeah, Lucy Letby. But she'll die in prison if she's not killed in prison. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, because they don't suffer. They don't put up with child killers in prison. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. There will never be a pardon for what she's done. So it's cleaning up a mess and a rot. So where you've got the little children, what's left in the fires and that, you know, it looks on the outside, I've got to be careful what I say, but it looks on the outside like it's an accident and may never be proven, but I think there's more to it. You know, there's this murder and then there's manslaughter. There is people who actually block for help. Is that not manslaughter? Do you know what I mean? But then there's the poor horses. You know, there's so much. And I just think that, I don't know if you guys feel the same, but if you see something, because, you know, the artificial intelligence knows what we're like. It's with the algorithms. So at the minute I've been looking at a lot of things on cats, but then there'll be like some awful video will come up and like, you know, recommended for you, and it's like a cat what's been abused and that, and I don't want to see it. So we have to like protect our auras at the minute, you know what I mean, and be in control and be around nature and all of that. But there is a rise of all of this? I believe that there is, and I believe there's going to be more so. And I think it's got a lot to do with technology, modern day living, drugs. You know, the list goes on and on and on. It's like we've lost our way. But if you go back to, like, I would say over the last 10 years or more, everything with Christmas and holy days has become very sort of materialistic. Where's the magic gone? Where's the special? What it's all about? It all became very materialistic. So it's like it needs to be brought back again, that Christ consciousness onto earth, and just that love. So this beast system is really running amok at the minute. And I do believe a lot of people they've got dark attachments, and I would say, I don't feel she's being used by an AI. I think she had dark attachments. People get holes in the aura, and I think that's what happened to that Lucy Letby. But it's one of many, isn't it? And I just think that we just need to watch our children. And this is why you don't see children so much playing out like you used to. But we also need to watch our pets. It's very important. Especially with Halloween coming and stuff like that, you know what I mean? The insanity is definitely going to increase, yeah, definitely there, Tinkerbell. Somebody said all souls are saved, no one is damned for all eternity. Again, I've never really done any videos on hell. It's not somewhere I want to go. I have asked Paul about it, my brother who's in spirit, and he said that he was getting used to being on the other side and he didn't want to talk about it. So to me, I do believe there is a hell. I do believe there is lower dimensions. This is definitely school where we're learning. But I'm going to say something to you. If people get away with things here, they don't get away with things when they go over to the other side. All right? They don't get away with things when they go over to the other side. So I just think that politics really is quite small fry to everything else what's going on at the minute. It's a soul's journey that we're on. It's a soul's journey. But the little children are, they're definitely fine, bless them. But I mean, for the people who've lost these babies, I don't think they would, you know, and anybody who's lost a child, you don't get over it. You couldn't possibly get over it. You learn how to walk through it. But it's called death in the wrong order. That's what it's called. You know, when a child goes, or a young person. But I feel tonight I want to put healing and protection around all the children of Earth. Not just to do with Maui, everywhere. Because I think it's going to be one hell of a roller coaster between now and 2027, 2028. You reap what you sow, don't you? Okay, let's see what else I can see. I still see the animals running in Africa, and I see a lot of wildfires. I'm seeing a lot of wildfires to come in around Australia. Crazy. It depends where you are in the world. And also something to come off to do with around the Middle East. I know it can get very hot in Dubai and places like that. October, November is going to be a strange one. And I want to say there's like some sort of form of an event, to come. And it's going to be all over world news. I'm getting something about fire and smoke and explosions, so watch for that. There's definitely something brewing still to do with around Russia and Ukraine. I'm still seeing that. Latvia, where's that? I'm getting a very strange feeling about Latvia tonight. So I would also want to send healing to all the Hawaiian Islands. It's funny, I'm getting Fiji. It's always a place I've wanted to go. That's over near Australia, isn't it? I'm looking at Fiji, if it's not Fiji, it looks like a tropical island. I mean, I could even be looking in the Bahamas here. I've talked about a Bahamas event. But it looks like a hot tropical island with palm trees. Remember that? And I'm getting something about problems and devastation and a lot of water. But I'm also seeing a lot of fire. Also, there could be floods into the near future there to do with around New Zealand. I feel like I need to send healing and blessings out there. People marching through Canada, places in Canada. And big news coming in with Trudeau. Do you remember this song? I used to like it, and it was Pink Floyd sung it. We don't need no education. Remember that? Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Interesting. There's going to be problems with schools in the UK. Problems. Because the old system's fallen. The amount of parents I speak to in the UK where there's autism is on the rise. Autism in children are, because a lot of children who are very sensitive and they're not coping with the way the system is working with the school. Everything's going to have to be torn down and built back up again. Another brick in the wall, yeah. School education, there could be a lot of strikes to come. I see an emergency in the US, and it's got something to do with food in children, and I don't know if it's to do with free school meals or something for the people who... Do you get free school meals over there, guys? I know we get them over here for the kids. People who need the free school meals. I need to hear the lyrics. A2IC, we need to hear the lyrics. I do lyrics. Well, there's going to be something to do with children, and it's US. I'm not sure about Europe, US, definitely the UK. Lyrics. Anybody doesn't know what I'm on about. So I've got a little light being, and he's called A2I. He's a ball of light, and he comes in and he gives us music prophecies from lyrics, and that's come up there. Lyrics, fat bottomed girls. Can you remember that song? I've never been looking at that. Lyrics. Another brick in the wall. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. So it's normally like I get prophecies from this, okay? No dark sarcasm in the classroom, Pink Floyd. Teacher, leave those kids alone. And then there's the chorus. If you don't eat your meat, you can't have your pudding. How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? That's interesting, because I was getting something about free school meals. You behind the bike stand still, laddie. Interesting. So there's going to be something coming out about free school meals. Or problems. There's going to be something coming out on the news about that. Pink Floyd, yeah. I mean, that's sometimes for people who are like on the breadline, kids who are getting free school meals, that's the only hot meal they're getting a day. Do you know what I mean? So we need to always keep a hold of the free school meals. I remember when Maggie Thatcher in the 80s stopped the free milk, and there was ructions on, you know what I mean? She stopped the milk for the kids. I believe they get it again now, but she did stop that for a while. So the education system's failing. The NHS will go three-tiered in the UK. Shocks to come out within Irish politics. Get Sinn Féin again. And all this energy, like what happened with the IRA and the bombings and getting Sinead O'Connor again, it never went away. It's just... I read for a lot of Irish people, it never went away. It's sort of deep steeped in history, and it runs through your veins. So you've got to understand, right, things like slavery, what happened in the United States of America, it never went away. So part of this ascension is that it needs to be talked about, it needs to be healed. And this is why everything is just going to explode in the US. Everything has to come out like a big spot, like a big boil. It needs to burst to heal. But there's something unhealed land in Ireland, and I don't know if it's a bit to do with that. And it's a bit to do with the potato famine as well. So I do believe we could have a food crisis at some point. That doesn't mean we're going to have no food. I just think that the old system's fallen. So I do believe that there could be shortage of certain foods, you know. And I predicted this, mind. I said that the ruble would drop, and it did. There's a guy that I follow. He's called Dan, and his wife on the Russian, and I follow them on. They've just got like this daily vlog thing they do with that little girl, and they live in Russia, and he's into prepping and all of that. You know what I mean? So I've been following him for quite a while, long before all the hoo-ha, and obviously I got all the intel off him, and obviously came on and said that the ruble had dropped. So I'm feeling that there's more countries where they could lose their value of money, and I do feel at some point, and it could be short-lived, mind, that could happen to the US dollar. It's not set in stone. Let's pull some cards out. We don't need no education. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. I do believe, and I've talked about this before, Mary's going on about meat and lab-grown meat and all that. I do believe that there will be some attack on farmers or ranchers at some point as well, and I think they're going to be something what could come up to do with dairy farming. I mean, look what happened to them poor cows. Where was that again? Was that in Texas? That was just awful. So I think that we need to watch for attacks on meat, you know. So who are these people? Who are these people what's doing this? It's the tentacles what's coming off from like this underworld of all the criminal organisations, because there's been a lot of tentacles and mafia links connected with the cabal and everything, right? Who've also been making their own money as well. Who will do all of this, like bad agents, whatever you want to call them. And of course, with everything getting disrupted and we're going into New Earth, it's disrupting a lot of different stuff on borders and that, where they can't get away with their criminal activity. So I feel like I want to send healing even to the animals in our food chain. So what happened to them cows there? Maybe there could be more awful stuff to come. I hope not, but I'm seeing it. It's because the veil is thin, guys. The veil is very, very thin. But we knew this before we came here, that we were going to be experiencing this. And it's about us living our truth to keep our energies up, to get rid of it, really. And it takes the voice of people to change things. You know, it's not always about the politicians, you know, them lot. So the crucial bit, I'm just going to look at something here. Pull 7 cards out. These are very old cards, you know. People say, oh, Louise, you should get some. I've got loads of fancy cards, but I like using my old cards. They've got a nice energy. And if you go to like any, you know, true gypsies and the caravans when they're reading the fortune, they don't have the fancy cards. They just have the old battered cards, you know what I mean? Or they get the cup of tea out and they read the tea leaves for you and that. And so that's the way I am. Do you know what I mean? That's the good guys, whatever you want to call them, the white hats, the cavalry. Okay. So they are working behind the scenes, but there is a lot of stuff going on around different borders. It's not just happening on Ukraine, it's happening all over of different borders. So it's an operation, how can I put this? It's an operation of different agencies working for governments, good people trying to sort this mess out. And I do believe, and I'm going to go back this again, I do think there is such a thing as time travel and all this marvellous technology, what's being held back from it. So I think that it could be very futuristic agents, which are shooting through different timelines to help people. A bit like the film Men in Black, when they were at that scene when they were in New York and they went into a bar or something and there was like a shape-shifting blinking lizard behind the bar and that. It's all happening. So, celebration, coming together, lifting our spirits. That's what we need to try and do. But it's funny when I look at that card, it's like they're all passing the drinks there, the chalices. And it's love and care from the heart. So anything what takes place in the food chain, we will help our neighbours and family. And I've talked about this before, where we need like community gardens, the people's gardens in every state or every town or village. So we can, dedicate a bit of land where we could all like put money together and grow vegetables. So just in case the supermarkets went down. Just in case. But not even that. I mean, there's people who are struggling who can't go and buy healthy food from the supermarket, because that's what we need to get back into. Like the old allotments, what our granddads used to have in the UK, like growing my big cauliflowers and cabbages and, because not everyone's got gardens. People live in apartment blocks and stuff like that. So if every town or village had like their own sort of people's gardens, they could do that. Excuse me. I've just seen a lot of water there, a lot of water. I've seen a vision of people running, and it looks like a sort of a tsunami. It looks like it's around some sort of island. I'm getting a very Indian connection, like Indian Ocean. Mother Gaia's very, very sort of angry. And there is ley lines. Some things are natural. It's not all brought on by technology. It's an abundance, but it's upside down. I think that it's going to be tight this winter for people who are struggling. It's tight for most people, You've got to be really rich to get by in this world. This world's so Luciferian. But working class families and even people with decent wages now, it's not like it used to be, like where the wife could stay at home and the guy just goes out to work. It's not like that now. If you look at all these young couples, they both have to work to a certain degree. There's going to be problems with fuel. I'm expecting it's going to be a very crazy winter. There's going to be a lot of storms and snowstorms, and let's see if we're going to have blackouts. But we need to look at cheap recipes and how we can budget, that type of thing. How we can budget and how we can eat healthy. I do feel that if Trump is, I'm chopping and changing here. It's just what I'm going with. I'm just going with it tonight. I do feel if Trump is completely arrested and stuck in prison, I think there will be riots on the street, and I'm not going to lie to you. I really do. Hiya there, Michael. Welcome in. But I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to go 3 different ways. I think that it's going to, there's so many different people after him. Do you know what I mean? It's awful. It's really awful. It's going to go on definitely into next year as well, March, April. It could be like something like a house arrest or something like, or a tagging or a house arrest or something like that. Something like that may happen. But there he is, and it's like, rising up, do, 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 do. It's like, Eye of the tiger. I think I'm going a bit weird with these planets tonight. It's like, he's going to be a hard man to take down. But King the Emperor, got a lot of mafia around him, mind. By God. But they've got the sheep there next to him, you know, like the lamb, the holy lamb. Got the star here, like, and it's coming out right next to him. Let's pull some more cards out. There's the star. There's so many people want him down, isn't there? It's like a man who's never been so hated but so loved. It's as simple as that. It's like, he's Marmite. Trump is Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. It's written in the stars. Federal banks. Federal banks. Victory. Forest swords. That's right. This is really weird. It's creepy. It's creepy. Right. So there's a big world changing. We're coming into New Earth. I said this when they were meeting in Scotland. They were all going there. Where was it, in Scotland somewhere? Was it last year or the year before? They all went there, all the different leaders. And they were basically told, like, put up with it, go along with this, or you're out. So you're going above and above white hats, black hats. You go right to the top. This ladder of what's going on. I believe there's some form of extraterrestrial presence here. And what's happening is, like, they're going to change and bring all this technology in. But this new technology is going to stop a lot of crime, but it's also going to change things where there can't be so much criminal activity, which is going on borders. So there's like fighting and all sorts of horrible things, right? And trafficking and all sorts of horrible things. It's one of the biggest things what's going on this planet at the minute. So that's disrupting things when things are going on borders. There's criminal people coming off tentacles from these dark organisations, and a lot of people are getting backhanded money. When this all kicked off to do with Russia, people were saying, oh, you know, Putin's a white hat and all of that. No, he's not. He's not. He's definitely not. It's all about the money. Everything is about the money with all of these. Trump, Putin, Biden. It's all about the money. It's all about the gold. It's all about that. All right. And I just think that there was a lot of money being made on the borders, but it's also been happening on Texas border. All different borders, it's happening. It's happening all over. It's happening in Africa. It's happening all over. And when they've talked about underground tunnels and that, I do believe there is underground tunnels. I really, really do. But they don't always traffic them through that way. You know, that they take them other ways as well. It's horrible. So to come into this new earth, they're not going to be able to get away with this so much. So the darkness is falling. We just don't see it at the moment. So into the future, with this future technology, they won't be able to get away with all of this trafficking so much, because it's going to be all cyber. I mean, it's very much Big Brother now, but it's going to be more so. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be more so. So all the banks won't go down, but there's going to be more. There's going to be a situation where it could stop with money for a while, or it could be where it could more be actually to do with blackouts, that type of thing, you know, the lights going out. It could be something where we couldn't go to the hole of the wall. So always see if you can, try to have some money on you, just in case. But there's definitely more bank scandals to come. But even the banks are getting investigated. And I'm going to say this very, very seriously. What's happening behind the scenes is everything is getting investigated. They're going through this like a fine tooth comb. And it's not a thing what can just happen overnight. It could take a while. So if you could look on, say 10 years down the line, there's going to be like less people getting snatched off the streets. It's going to be safer. But we've just got a bit to go before we get there. So we are protected. They've talked that they're going to phase the money out. I don't see that happening for a long, long time. I think that Bitcoin and I think different currencies are going to come into play. It's a slow transition. It's like we're also in soft disclosure now as well. We're very much in the UFO disclosure. That'll come out in a very scientific way. But there will be some banks which will go down. The situation with Greece is going to happen with another 2 countries. Let's see who this could be. So it's the fight of the fittest, the fight of the strongest. But you'll always have some form of federal, but you'll always have some form of banks. But there's going to be more options for humanity in the future. And what I do feel is that there's going to be less interest, more things like that for the people. So it could be how we had in the UK, we had something called PPI. I predict this to come, it could take a few years, but we're all going to get checks, or we're all going to get from interest what we've had taken off from our money in our banks and stuff like that. I see that coming back. Where's the worry? So Greece really never really recovered. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. I've got a very dear client. She actually fled there. She lost her home, her business. She came over here with her husband and her kids. She lost the damn lot. And the government weren't going to give her it back. They're very corrupt. Let's see what countries are vulnerable for that happening to. Mix some cards up. The vulnerability, what countries? I heard a funny noise there. Can you see ours okay, guys? 7 cards. We've got problems with banks to come. We've got justice. Some banks will fall. There is a lot of This is very, very heavy, actually. Right. I would say I look at that and I get the banks. So a lot of banks are in trouble, but a lot of banks, it's the fight of the fittest. Some will fall, some will change. That doesn't mean we're going to lose our money. But I would say that when you're living in places like the West and certain places, I think that they will warn with, you can come and get your money out if you want to get your money out. You know, they would warn with. I do believe that. If I get an update on that, I would just come on and tell you. Do you know what I mean? Could be the Vatican Bank, yeah. But we've got the justice. So there is a lot of scandals to come out with banks. I'm sure I said this a couple of years ago. I'm sure I said that there was going to be a lot of scandals to come out with banks. And we've got a lot of deceit to come out. A lot of deceit. Mamma mia. I am actually getting Italy. It's as if I'm being shown this again. I'm getting the boot of Italy, and I think there could be a lot of worry around Italy. There will be some banks where there'll be some scandals in the UK, in Europe, but it seems very strong. It's got a backbone there. But some will go down, but not all. There's a backbone of the UK. There's a strong iron backbone. And a lot of them in the US will be okay, but some will have problems. But you'll get a warning. Maybe unless it's worn, and it looks like it's a red and white sign, and it looks like it's quite a big. I'm sure I've seen a bank like that in Barbados once, but it's like it's over in the US, like a red and white sign. Maybe there could be problems there, or is it a company? It's connected with a bank. I wonder if it's Virgin Bank, Bank of America. They're red and white, but on the whole, yous will be fine. You'll get a warning. But there could be a lot of queues with something like that. We've got a double justice here. We've got a double justice. So there's a clean-up happening, but on the whole, not all banks will go down. Oh, this Santander. They ran off with my money, you know. Very odd. And Barclays did as well. I know it was only £10, but it's not the point. Do you know what I mean? It was a long, long time ago. The two justice cards there. So there is a big clean-up happening. So into the future, it's not going to be like all banks go down. No way. No way, that's not going to happen. But there's going to be scandals with some banks. It's a fight of the fittest. But then I'm actually seeing that there's going to be people are getting checks. They're getting checks like when there's a clean-up happening with banks, there's going to be people who have had, when they've had too much, interest have been taken away from them, and it's going to be given back. So watch for that within the next year or so. Watch for that to come in. But a lot of the big banks are protected. And don't forget, I read for bankers, so I sort of know. Do you know what I mean? So Italy is a worry. I'll double check. Bank of America. Why am I getting? There could be a wobble with it. Two banks one will have a scandal, one will nearly fall, but it'll join in with another bank and it'll save it. So it's the bigger, the stronger. It's the fight for everything on every level, from not just people, from corporations, because we're trying to survive to go through this new earth. I know that myself. I mean, look what happened in the lockdowns and stuff like that, and like a lot of companies fell, like little baker shops and things like that, because they couldn't afford to keep going. And God bless them, a lot of people, not just in the UK, they lost their businesses. And then, of course, for the people who went online, they thrived. But they get you everywhere, you see. That happened to me. So I was like reaching out to the community and then just doing it oddly online. And then, of course, I went full-blown online in the lockdowns and that. But then they get you the other way by the bloody tax man. So you can't win. Do you know what I mean? It's like over here, the more you make, the more they take. Do you know what I mean? But that's another story. I am seriously considering, not being for a long time yet, hopefully, but when my mum and dad do eventually leave this planet, I will leave this country. And I'm thinking of the Isle of Man, which is in between the UK and Ireland, and it's low tax. Yeah, I did think I would like to go and live in Dubai. I really, really would. But somehow I don't think the Middle East is ready for Adam with his pot smoking, so I don't think I could take him there. It's a bad idea. No, I probably will go somewhere like the Isle of Man, just like a little island. I know it's really cold, but it's going to be low tax, because these lot over here are just too high on the tax. The tax is unreal. The more you make, the more you take. Andrew Tate was right. When you get up into a high bracket, the more you make, the more they take. It's criminal over here, what they take. 55%. So, let me have a look. It's going to take time. And I often question, like the Tory government, them lot. How do I put this without, I've got to be very, very careful. So, people are either elected or selected. And I question the whole thing with it all. And it's not just to do with the US. I question it across Europe, the UK, like a fixed sort of system type of thing. But then again, the Labour government isn't, they're not much better either. Do you know what I mean? So we are very in sort of a stifled state here in the UK. I know I always talk about the US, but the UK is going through a lot as well. I do believe we will go Labour government again, but it's going to take some time. But the British people we're a funny lot, and we're very much mixed cultures, a lot of superstition here and everything. I don't feel we're going to take too well to another lockdown, and I also believe that there would be riots if that was the case. And I don't feel for 1 minute that we would take too well to 15-minute cities, because we complied in the lockdowns. We kept away from our loved ones when they're dying, and I was one of them with my brother. And all the time they were partying, and they got caught out, and they just get away with it. Do you know what I mean? So they can't really do anything now but they're going to try. And I think it could be something, it's more global. It's not just to do with the UK. I could be looking within a time scale here of 2 years. Are you too as well, California, with your mum? Oh, bless you. It's horrendous. So I think there will be problems if they try that. Humanity will not, and I want to say it's not just the UK, it's everywhere. And then, of course, the mental health and everything. The country has never really been the same since. Do you know what I mean? And, so let's say something. I'm just going to ask something. And then we're going to have a little break. And then after the break, I'm going to pull some cards out on Trump and other things. What's going on over there. Whoops. We've got the clause here. It's the old, again, I keep getting the old system falling. I think there will be some form of riots at some point in London streets. I'm not saying it's going to be like a Guy Fawkes, but it will get as close as. A lot of people are going to get triggered, yeah. People are getting triggered. The clause means the end of. And the 5 of Pentacles means a loss. And the Lovers means that something huge is coming out. Mamma mia. Holy moly. Holy macaroni. So we've got the Lovers card. So in that card, it means that some big news has come out. The 5 of Pentacles is like a loss. That could be Trump-like. I'm going to look into this after the break. And then we've got the clause. But looky, I love this card, and I've talked about this a lot, right? So you've got the the darkness in life. There's the Grim Reaper, and he's trying to get the baby on the bank, but there he is, the little baba, right? And he's protected on the bank. He's playing on the bank, right? Innocent little baby, and there's a white owl above him, mystical, protecting him. Got the flowers around, and it's all an illusion. If you've noticed, he can't get to the baby. You can't get to the baby. Remember, everything is frequency. It's death and rebirth, yeah, as well. But you've got the spirits of the animals and the butterfly and that. They're all protecting the baby. The innocence and the darkness. There's many different things you could look at with that. So we're really in some form of a hologram here. We're spirit beings blobbing about in a meat suit, a bag of water. We've come down here to try to sort this mess out. Could also resemble the child trafficking, what's happening as well and everything. The light will win. The light will win. The children will rejoice. I mean, there's loads of butterflies about, isn't there? There's the little children. All the little children coming onto the earth plane now. You've got the crystal children, the rainbow children, the blue ray children, the new age children. Yeah, I know, Amy. So the children are going to win in the end. The children are going to be protected. But as this is going on, you've got a lot of nasty stuff happening. And I'm not saying this to sugarcoat, but I just think we just need to protect all our loved ones, not just our children, our animals, our older generation. Typical example today, my mother rang us up and she lives on her own. And I was talking to her on that, and she goes, there's a man coming down onto our land, right, down the drive, with an axe in his hand. I wonder what he wants. I says, what? She says, he's got an axe in his hand and he's knocking on the door. I says, don't open the door. Do not open the door. She opened the door. I was like, as it happens, it was just a lad who was asking if she wanted some work done to the tree. And I said, say no. Just say no and just shut the door. I was like, oh my God. She's only tiny. She's like a little fairy in her 80s. She opened the door to this man with an axe. As it turned out, the man with the axe was okay, but he might have not been okay. And this is what I'm saying. We have to really protect our loved ones on every level. We really do. And my dad's the same. I mean, my dad's got dementia. So he'll walk around to the hole in the wall or go to the shops. And he's vulnerable on his walking stick, and somebody could mug him. And I keep saying, will you please be careful? And because there's so many opportunists out there, and I just think that the crime's going to be on the rise, mind, when things do get a little bit... I mean, they're doing okay, don't get us wrong, but I just think that if you're like me, you'll just worry all the time. You just don't know. And this is something else as well. It's like, I use the same guys because I can't now, since the lockdowns, just walk around the streets in the dark like I did before. I live near a park when the dogs were alive. I'd come in from a club 2:00 in the morning, and I'd just go out there in the park in front of my house, smoking my cigarette. The dogs would be running around, and I'd bring them in. I'd be out there for about 20 minutes. I could not do that now. You wouldn't catch me doing that now. It's very cautious and very eerie, and it's since the lockdowns, the streets aren't the same. They're not the same. Then you've got all the scammers going on. You've got the social media scammers. You've got to be careful with emails. I'm going to get more into this. Give us 5. Go make your cuppas, your popcorn, your drinks, whatever. I'm going to go make a cup of tea, and I'll be back in 5, okay? And we're going to look deeper into it. You've got to be so cautious, because I think that the crime's going to go on the rise before this all sorts out, because it's all coming out. And then and it's not just nasty, hardened criminals. You've got people on the streets. And I'm not saying it's right to mug somebody, because it's not, but you've got people who are desperate. You've got people who are mugging people because they're desperate. So I'm a little bit concerned of the rise of crime before this sorts out. So we're going to look into it. Give us 5. I'm going to put my hometown picture on, right, and I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to go make a cup of tea, have a quick naughty cigarette, and I'll be back. And I was going to get into the gun things and all of that, yeah. Well, I was thinking the same. Tinkerbell here, I would carry a gun, but it's not allowed here in Switzerland to carry guns. I know it's the same over here. But mind you, when you're going off into the farming land, all, you know, the farmers have their guns and stuff like that. Give us 5. All right, and I'll be back in a minute, okay? And I hope I don't drop the audience. I've got 1,232 viewers all in all. That's all right, isn't it? That's on both streams. I'll be... takes us a few minutes to refresh it. Oh, that's good. How are you doing, Lance? Hiya, Queen Wanda. I thought of that name as well, Wanda. From me kitty cat. I like the name Wanda. That's good. Is it... You know what? I've just had a flash vision there that the future technology is going to be... Chat's going to have your little faces and you'll be able to talk live to it. This is what I predict on YouTube and other social media networks. That there's going to be like chat and there's going to be people's faces coming up like Zoom. It'll be like Zoom incorporated into... Or something like Zoom incorporated into the chat, and it's going to be your faces and you'll be able to all talk, or like a synchronize. If I mention your name, then you can respond back type of thing. Something like that's going to happen into the future. Like holographic, yeah, which will be good because it means then it'll be like it'll be literally not just typing. It could even be where you're if you've depending on your technology you've got. I predict into the future the new computers are going to be just talking instead of typing, because I've sort of seen futuristic stuff when I've looked way on into the Pleiades and year 3000 and all that. There's going to be none of this typing. It's going to be just talking, and then it'll be doing it all for you. Can we look? I suppose you could. There would be apps to change the look of you if you wanted to. I know texting, I get sore fingers when I'm texting. I text all day. It'll help to know who the bots won't be able to do much about that, will they? Because it means, well, you could have an option if you didn't want to show your face, but I think that there will be an option. It'll be like a Zoom thing, so you could either be blank screen talking, or you could be with a picture or showing your face sort of thing. I like the old-fashioned telephones talking. There's none of that now, is there? Now, I'm going to ring a bell before we start so we can get this right. Please, Spirit, tonight give me true answers what's going to happen with Donald Trump. Japan has become robotic already, quite creepy. Yeah, I like Japan, mind. It's a very clean country. They're very ahead of their times, You see, you can look at it two ways. There's two sides to a penny. I think a lot of people are frightened of all the robots and that. I'll look into that tonight as well. The old-fashioned dial-up. When I was a teenager, right, I remember the phone. It was a landline. It was mustard coloured. And my mum and dad had it in the hallway. So when I would ring my friend Alison, my school friend, I would sit for hours on the stairs talking to her. And my dad would be going off it, doing his dinger because of the phone call. But that's what it was like then. There was no social media. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. Please give us the true answer tonight of what's going to happen to Trump. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel to please send healing into this forum, so nobody is triggered from either right or left. We are just wanting the truth. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael to put a cloak of protection around this forum, to give us the true answer, and that it comes out in an understanding way. No gloating from no sides. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. I just want to add this bit in, that I ask that any darkness that is patrolling this planet at the minute, that Uriel protects the innocent and the children and the animals from all darkness on this hour. And keeps us all safe, our homes, our families, our loved ones, our pets, our finances, everything. That we're protected with the blood of Jesus Christ, amen. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Okie dokie. You go and get a rest there, Wanda. And good night. Right, Trump. You had a red phone on. It was a Liverpool supporter. I remember the mustard coloured one. And then later on they got like a whitish coloured one. Creamy white. Mother Mary, yes. Oh, Mother Mary. She's been very busy recently, Mother Mary. Virgin Mary. She's looking after the children, what's all getting hurt. And you've got Francis of Assisi. Have you heard of him? Francis of Assisi. He looks after the animals. And if you're ever worried about an animal, you can ask Francis of Assisi, I think I'm pronouncing it right, to, heal your animal, protect them. And Michael's the guy as well. Michael's the bod. Please give us a true answer on Trump, if an outcome. St. Francis. Mother Mary's energy is very close at the moment, and I'm sensing Jesus as well, I've got a little card in my bedroom with Francis Assisi on, and it's next to, it's the spare room where I've got my baby doggy's ashes, and I've got Francis Assisi next to him. I've just thought of something. I'll have to move them with the cats coming, because I'll probably go and knock them flying. Right. Let's go true answer. I've always talked about two different timelines, and that there's a race to the finishing line who gets the information out. Do you remember Durham? What happened to Durham? That all just went tits up, didn't it? Very strange, that. Let's see what's going on. 7 cards. So anyway, I didn't kill the spider. I didn't kill the nasty big black spider I had. I squirted that stuff on it. Peppermint and lemon spray. They don't like it. It's a natural spider repellent. And he ran away, so I don't know where he's gone. No doubt he'll appear at some point, but he'll not come back where the lemon spray is. They don't like lemon essential oil spiders. And they don't like peppermint. They hate peppermint spiders. It doesn't kill them, they'll just run away. They'll run out of your house. Durham was a total waste of time and money, wasn't it? Yeah, Julie. Excuse me. Yeah, I know. They're doing terrible things in Australia with the constitution there illegally. I'll have a look at that for you as well. I think most books don't like peppermint, do they? Let's have a look. Knight of Swords. I think that's Jack. What's he called? What's his face? Jack. The prosecutor. That's Jack. Now there's going to be a lot of people in here. There's going to be a lot of people which are not going to like me saying that, but he's actually coming up as on a white horse. Don't believe everything was said to be true is true, so maybe he's not as bad as, maybe he's just trying to get to the bottom of it and he's doing his job. I really don't know, but he's coming up as a white hat at the moment. Jack Smith, yeah. That's the Queen of Swords. I believe that's one of the ladies. It could be Fanny. Fanny. I can't think of her surname. But that's what's coming up with Georgia. And she looks like she means business. She's got there with her sword and her book in her hand there. We do have peace, and I'm going to look into this. Now, peace is actually coming up upside down, and I'm a little bit concerned when I look at that, because that's like, I've always said it's not going to end the way people think it's going to end, and I do believe when it all stops, it's going to stop like that for Trump, and everyone's going to be like left, like all the haters and that, they're going to be left like, well, what do we do now with all of this? Like, it's all stopped. It's like, what? It's all just going to stop like that. We've got abundance here. There's a lot of money involved here. We've got the Emperor. I'm going to say that's Trump at the minute. And we've got the Two of Cauldrons. Again, he's coming out with the white lamb next to him. Now, I'm not saying he's all holy and thou, far from it. But there is something there godly protecting him. Let me have a look. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got a celebration here for the Democrats. They're trying to break him. So to me, that's like a celebration. It's like they're going to definitely get stuff on him. They definitely are going to get stuff on him. This is what I'm seeing. Let's pull some more cards out. The Six of Cups is a bit of a surprise because it's a bit like stalemate as well. It's a bit like that. It's like it's going to be long and drawn out. I still have this vision of him walking out of a building and there's like a flashing of cameras and there's all this commotion. I'm going to see how he feels as well at the minute. Let's pull some more cards out. We've got the Fool card here, which is saying, I'm actually getting protection around Jack Smith. So I'm not sure there's been some threats to him. But there's like protection is over the top of him. So he is protected. He is protected. There's going to be holes in things. It's not going to be completely conclusive. To do with the Georgia thing. I think there's some stuff, but there's other stuff, and I'm getting 2 or 3 and I don't know why, so I don't know if there's other things that have to get on them before they take them totally down, or there's something that maybe Donald Trump's team can use against them, but there's also damage there to Trump as well. It's like demobilizing him as well. Like that's like him there without the arm. It's demobilizing him. House arrest, maybe. Right, we've got the Seven of Swords. So there is some big twist in the road with this. There is a big twist, but it's also not a very nice twist. And it's not a very nice twist for Donald Trump. I still worry about Julian Assange. I know it's like a lot of distractions here when there's people. Yeah, I know. Well, I blame the UK government with what's going on there, like, because they're not whiter than white, whatever was happening there, embassies and that. We've got the Nine of Swords, so this is going to go on for another 2 months. Or maybe it's going to hit a peak within 2 months. It's going to hit a peak, but this is not good. Look at all these swords here. Twitch is playing up, is it? No way. There is 2 women what's going to get stuff on him. So there's an older prosecutor as well, isn't there? There's the lady called Fanny. I can't think of her surname. And then there's another lady, black lady. 2 Queen of Pentacles. Well, the Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles is 2 ladies who are darkish. So is it okay for you, Jazz, with the Twitch? Maybe it's your internet. I'm going to look into that, Bjorn. How are you doing in Iceland? We've got the sunshine and we've got the Empress energy coming out over Donald Trump. And we've got the harvest. So these are you've got the major arcana of the deck, which are like protecting him. And we've got the harvest. So the harvest is like the fall, the autumn, September, October, November. 27th to 22nd, 21st. Ruction's on in a courtroom. And a woman like banging a hammer, like I'm not saying literal, but it could be just hypothetically. Like she's got a hammer there and she's trying to convict him on something. Clicking of cameras. He's coming out. There's lots of meetings, people gathering in groups, and they're all on the internet. They're all like on different news outlets and stuff like that. I can see that. Got the Ten of Swords. 2 to 3 months. There's different timelines, but there's something about a crack in the road. 2 to 3 months, so that could say September, October, November. But then I'm also getting it's going to carry on, unless that's to do with other people as well, and it's going to go on till spring of next year as well. Oh, God bless her, Deb. My granddaughter started school today. I'm here, Judy. Can you not hear us? We've got the Justice card. I do believe that they're going to convict him on stuff, you know. I really, really do. Can you hear us okay, guys? Because some people are having trouble. Let's see if it's the actual... It's not my computer because it's all... It might be. Let's see if there's something going on with the internet at the minute. Internet. It's on a global network. It's wobbling. And that's something that they do have up their sleeve, the baddies. So you've got I've said this, higher the higher you go, you've got the good hats, the bad guys, the good guys, they're working together because they've been told they've got to shut up, put up or get on with it because they know what's coming. Even the bad guys know what's coming because we're going into this futuristic world. And it's possible that in order to bring it on quicker, because there's different timelines, that they could bring the whole system down by some sort of cyber attack or allow that to happen to then manoeuvre in the new stuff. I don't have multiple windows open. No, I've got nothing open, just this. So it is a global thing what's going on. There was a bit of a wobble. So maybe it depends on certain networks. Could be weather. What's affecting the internet. YouTube's fine, that's good. We've got the Ace of Swords. There's a surprise at the end of it all. There's like a surprise at the end of it all. The crown. That could be something what's over the top of Trump's head, what's from the spirit realm or something. There's a surprise with it, but it doesn't look... I don't know why I'm getting evergreen. What does that mean again? Evergreen? Is that a company? I'm getting something about evergreen, or maybe there's something coming out about that. Got the Fool card. He is protected. When I get the Fool card out, it means that he is protected. That's Hillary's code name, right? Well, I'm getting Evergreen. I've had her twice tonight, haven't I? That's twice I've had her tonight. Isn't that strange? Okay. There's something coming out about that. We've got the 6 of Cauldrons. I thought it was a blinking place in Greenland or somewhere. Wasn't that the name of a ship? Aye, maybe. The cargo ship that got stuck in the canal. Maybe there's more stuff like that to come out again. Right, okay. There is a lot of stuff, as you know, what's been pushed behind the scenes, what's been hidden. And people have asked me, you know, what's happening with Biden's son and da-de-da-de-da and all of this. And with Biden, I'm going to pull some cards out on him. I don't see anything happening to him. I just see him sort of being manoeuvred out of the way. Manoeuvred is the word, like replaced or taken away type of thing. That is Ivanka and Jared. They're definitely having problems there. And I actually think she's worried at the minute. So something's big's to come out with them too as well. They could get dragged into this, you know. They could get a lot of people dragged into this. Well, I don't think he's well. So when I've seen him on the stretcher, I don't know if that's been hypothetically where they're showing us that he needs to be on a stretcher because he's not well. Or it means that he's literally going to be on a stretcher. Let's pull some cards out on Biden. I'll just get a coffee. He's in China tonight, guys. I'll have a look for you. For the Los Angeles, I'll look at the earthquakes again, and I want to look at Australia because somebody had asked about Australia as well. Right, what was I going to do there? Oh yeah, Biden. Something's creaking. I hope it's not that spider what's come back with its big, I was going to say big paws. It was like that. Big paws. Jared doesn't look the same person, does he? Should we have a woo-woo? Shall we see if he's been replaced? Biden. We've got a woman here to replace him. This is what they want. There is definitely stuff going on behind the scenes. We've got, that could be Kamala or it could be Michelle Obama. I'm going to look into Jared, yeah, because I think there's something very dodgy about him, isn't there? Well, his father was a bit dodgy, wasn't he? His father ended up in prison, didn't he? But anyway, that's like a lady of colour. So, that's really strange. I'm getting like upside down, like the angels coming in here. Normally I would get spirit or he's not really there, but we know he's not really there, like mentally type of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's a case that they're just going to manoeuvre him out. I think his plan is that he wants to run again. But we've got the Magician card. I don't feel a lot of the Democrats want him in. I want to say that the pair of them aren't going to be in for much longer. Well, they are. I mean, obviously for a bit longer, but they're not the future, Biden and Trump. That's what I want to say. Good God, man. I mean, how do I put this? The shit is about to hit the fan. We've got the Seven of Swords there. I don't think you're just not looking at Trump. You know, you're looking at a lot of people they're going to go after. I'm telling you that now. We've got, but it's actually it could backfire as well. This is the thing. It could backfire, but that doesn't mean Trump's going to get back in or he's going to be there for much longer. He's assigned himself to do what he needs to do. And he always used to say that they're not after me, they're after yous. Yeah, they used to say that. But I just think that a lot of it's not looking good for him. It's not looking good for him. But I do think that there will be, it's like a stall in the road. There's bigger things to come for America, I want to say that. I really do. And that's no detriment towards Trump. That's just what I'm picking up. Gel here on YouTube. Kamal is not a legal citizen of the United States. Well, according to this, she is. Where was she born? According to this, she is. Unless it's, I'm not saying exactly her, but it could be somebody else. But it's somebody dark to the hair. They're way too old as it is. But it has to come out, and it's going to get nasty before it sorts out. But I don't think they're going to fully get away with a lot. I think that at a later date, I'm going to say something to you tonight. This is very important, right? This is if Trump gets in or he doesn't get in, depending on which Republican ever gets in again, which they will at some point. Don't think for 1 minute that all of this is going to be left. All right? Because there's not just one Trump here in the mix. And they don't forget. Don't think for 1 minute if anything's left and it's brushed underneath the carpet. You know, it can come out at a later date. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. And I want to say what Mary's saying in the audience, which I totally agree with. I believe Donald Trump has a bigger plan than get back into the White House. I think he's tired. I do think he's tired. I mean, anybody would be. What? But that man will go to his grave ranting on his Truth Social. Talking about Truth Social, I think that's going to go down. Or they're going to try and attack that at some point as well. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to shock the world. Yeah, you're right, Mary. And it's a good one, but I do think some of it's going to backfire on the Democrats. I do believe that. Trump looks very tired, but I mean, he's a man in his 70s. He's getting on. He's in his winter years. He doesn't look the best of health. The pair of them are not the best of health in different ways. Do you know what I mean? People have said that. People have said... You know, like crazy people have said that Biden's a clone and all of that. I believe Biden is Biden. There is clones about, but I believe Biden is Biden. But I want to say Biden in a way is being used as well. I think it was his ego as well. I think, but he doesn't. He might convince himself that he's going to run, but they're not really wanting him in there. Age catches up to it all in the end, doesn't it? It really, really does. But there is people who are in their 80s and they are perfectly healthy. But, and I'm not saying that, but I just think that... Well, my daughter-in-law's grandfather, who's older than my mum and dad, he walks for miles every day. He goes on country walks and that, and he's really fit. And he's all with it. Do you know what I mean? But I think running for office is a totally different thing. I think it's because it's so toxic at the minute, and there's just this heavy, polarised, opposite energy. What's in the UK, well, it's here as well, like in a different way. In the US, I think it's you need somebody who's got a bit more youth on their side, a bit fresher to come in to change things. It's not going to end the way you think it's going to end. In a funny sort of way, yes, they will bring him down. I'm getting this straight from spirit. But he'll get his justice somehow, even if it's on his deathbed. Mark my words. That's the gypsy winning is coming out. It's coming out really strong. There's another Republican to take the lead here. There's two in the mix. But it's going to be a very weird one. And I said this last year. I said when they start doing the nominees of the Republicans and the Democrats, it's going to be weird to watch the Republicans doing that thing next week. But the Democratic one's going to be very interesting. You'll need your popcorn for that one. You'll need your popcorn. Jared Kushner. Let's pull some cards out on Jared. I was getting like an Antichrist type of energy. I'm not saying he's that, but I just get I think it's because of the 666 building and all of that. Do you know what I mean? I just get like a weird energy. I couldn't imagine Biden in a debate. It's going to be interesting. I think you're going to be very interested. Sorry, I've got something in my mouth there. Funny. Very interested who's going to come forth within the Democratic Party. You're going to be very shocked. Who's going to show strength in that debate? It won't end with Donald Trump the way you think it's going to end. I want to pull one more card out for Trump, right? But he's weary. He's tired. He's not sleeping. I mean, he wasn't a man who slept anyway. I think he only slept a couple of hours a night, didn't he? Remember when I used to look into it when he was the president and that, and I used to, when he was being naughty on Twitter, and I'd remote viewed. Remember when I remote viewed into his bedroom with Melania, and she was getting cross with him because he was sitting there with his iPad doing this like at 2:00 in the morning, you know what I mean? She their marriage isn't very good, and I predict she'll leave him. I predict that she'll leave the US at some point. I don't know if it's with him or what, if he's still here, because there's different timelines, but it's not very good at the minute. It's going to get very interesting. New beginnings coming in for the US. Success. And this is for both parties. And I don't know why I'm getting this. It's for a fall-in, a showing of both sides. So even the dark side of the blue side will eventually get exposed, but not the way you think it's going to be, not the way the intel's put out. It's going to come out in a different way. Do you know what I mean? With certain people. Because life's not like that, you know, where they were seeing ages ago, they were going to round people up and send them to get more. What a load of bullshit. That's not going to happen. That was part of all the 17th letter of the alphabet when they were saying stuff like that. But I do believe that there is a lot of mob energy what's coming out here, and a lot of pain. I said a little while ago that I think it was when Jared had gone over to the Middle East. Was it the Middle East? And he was shaking hands and doing deals with somebody over there, that there was something dodgy going on. They're going to pull something out there about him. But he has backstabbed Trump. Him and Trump aren't what you think they are. And neither is, I want to be straight to the point here as well, because I'm on a roll. And neither is Ivanka, who's been his blue-eyed girl. I think she's massively let him down, because it's all about money. She will try and run to the future, but don't think for 1 minute it'll be Republican. She'll switch sides. But then again, everything's going to change anyway. I think that there needs to be a breaking down of both sides to like mend everything anyway. He's going to be in a lot of trouble, Jared. A lot of trouble. I don't know why I'm getting extradited. Where do they live? Where does Jared live? She's a Democrat anyway, is she? I mean, you could tell that Ivanka was his favourite, wasn't it? But she's struggling at the minute. Like, there's something that I want to say they're shitting my panties about something at the minute, and I don't know what it is. Let's see what it is. Juicy gossip. Is he being compromised? I think he's like back at. Good God, he's made a lot of dark money, you know. A lot of dark money. Okay. I don't think she's going to go to jail, but I think they're going to stand in some sort of court thing and something like that. But isn't it funny? Can you remember when Trump got into office, right? And then all of a sudden he just sort of appeared and he was like lurking in the background and that. He looked very sort of dubious and sinister looking. I just think that there's something very dodgy about him. I don't believe he's a clone, but I think he's been... I mean, don't get us wrong, I think there's clones running around. I do think clones are out there, and I've talked about this before, cyborgs and stuff like that. But I think with with Jared, I think that there's so much high technology now. I think people can get manipulated with this AI, highly advanced weaponry technology. And I get a bit of an agent energy with him as well, like he reminds us of a dark agent of like the Matrix, that type of energy. But he's been manipulated by some energy or something, so it could be like a clone, but it's not a clone. I think it's more far advanced than that. So I don't think it's people running around with rubber masks. I think people are being triggered, and people are being with the frequency and energy. It's funny. I was lying in bed early hours of this morning, and I heard this droning noise, and it often comes on at a certain time in the middle of the night. And I got a download from my guides that they're doing something with the frequency to try to control with the frequency. I got a very weird feeling about it. So, and I've sometimes wondered that they do this with people where people, if they're wide open, that they're kicking off with their mental health, and this is where you get shooters and people like that, strange people. Jared is a time traveller. I'll check it out for you. Oh, thank you, Val. I've never felt so convinced tonight that I don't think Trump's going to get back in. I could change my mind, but I just feel a real sadness for him. I've got to go what I'm feeling. But I mean, timelines are changing all the time. You know, I could change my mind next week, but it's what I'm feeling at the minute. Something about Jared. Triple agent, never mind double agent. Very, very dark. Very, very dark. Yeah, the nanotech frequencies have been used since the 50s. Oh, yeah, I do. I include the animals there, LL. You better like listen back to it. I've even gone about the animals in the food chain tonight. Haven't I, guys? He's toast. He's sneaky, dark toast. Burnt toast by the end of the year, going into the beginning of next, he's going to end up in a stand, him. Mark my words, that man. It's not going to end. I'm going to say this again. It's not going to end the way you think it's going to end. You've talked about these warp timelines. There's something here trying to take him down. And I'm not saying it's a frequency, but it's possible. Trump might not. Oh God, this is awful. I need to burn an incense, actually. I'm going to burn one of my incense sticks. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't get a good vibe that he's not going to be here for much longer. Because that's what they want. Can't get into these. They want that. I'll get the other one. I'm going to burn one of these. They're called Witch's Coven. And it's sage. White sage. I don't get a good vibe. I think that it's like you peck. I talked about this the last time I was on. You keep pecking like a budgie, pecking another budgie. Peck, 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 peck. It says here, stay calm. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be back in a minute because I'm going to light. I'll be 2 minutes. It's funny, when I was walking back with that, I felt like I was getting into the energy of the Statue of Liberty. If she's got an energy, I'm not saying she's got a soul, but if I was connecting with a higher self of the people who built her. And I'm feeling it's as if she's sad tonight. But she's also excited because she knows that old energy is going out and new energy is coming in. Why am I getting a feeling tonight that he's not going to be around for much longer? Could that change? I'm going to pull some cards out. She was built in France. She has the vibrations of many. So maybe as I'm picking up on the founding fathers, he's being driven. No, he's not perfect. But I do believe he changed. I do believe he wanted the good for the people. But I do believe that there's just this heaviness at him at the minute. And I really do think it's going to take him down. I've never felt so strong as I am tonight. I'll just leave that like that. Breaking free from the enslavement. Hope that doesn't drop on me computer. They're going to take him down, guys. They really, really are. And there's a woman to rise in the USA. I'm still sticking with it. Man as well, maybe. But I just think I've got to come on here and tell you what I'm feeling, you know, and that's what I'm picking up tonight. There's going to be hell on. And I think that with Trump, he had a lot of backstabbers around him. You know, he was bad at picking his staff or his advisors. It's all backstabbing in that sort of world. Do you know what I mean? It's dark. But he's made a lot of enemies, you know, and that was even before he got into power. Do you know what I mean? So there's always been that with him. But you're looking at that, like, that's what you're looking at. Look at the horned man there. Reminds us of that January the 6th thing. That's what's going to take place. And try not to be around crowds. Try not when it kicks off. Just keep away. Do you know what I mean? He does have it. There is a little bit of light there. There's a little bit of light there. Like I said, there's a split timeline, and it's coming up within the next 3 weeks, 3 months. But I'm unsure. There's something what's going to definitely carry on into the spring of next year. Now, if he's there or he's not. But I'm unsure if he's there. But that could change, mind. That could change. It doesn't mean that he's left the earth plane. It could be many things. It could be that he's won. You know what I mean? But I'm not so sure. I know that there's going to be big court cases into next year, and it's going to carry on regardless with him or without him, because there's so many different people at play, and Jared plays a big part in this as well. Yeah, I suppose so, Hazeltine, it will. But the end result's going to be fine. But I'm going to see if I can channel the Statue of Liberty. And I don't know why, because she's not a conscious being. Maybe I'm going to see if I can connect with the energies with the Founding Fathers tonight before I go tonight, guys, for you. Australia was another thing I needed to look into in the weather, and then we'll shut it down for the night. Yeah, so all we've got to do is just sit and watch it all unfold. You know, there's nothing much more you can do, really. What's going on in Australia? It's the same as what I think's going on in the UK and everywhere else. I think it's a case of, it's the battle, what's going on between the dark and the light, isn't it? It's there will be a rise of Aussies, and they will march through streets. But it's funny, you know, because I'm getting the man who's in the Prime Minister for Australia. I see a breaking down of communications, and I see a change there. A woman will rise in Australia, a woman with a loud voice. I'm sure I've said that before. But there's going to be, you know how you've got the other guys, what, they're not called states in the Australia, what they're called, is it sections? What they're called, like sections in Australia. They are going to, like Dan Andrews is one, different people, there's going to be a lot of scandals to come out, and there's going to be a rise, and it's something to do with documents or papers. Pauline Hanson, she's a firecracker redhead, possible. Teddy, that's interesting, what Teddy said in Twitch. The Statue of Liberty was originally supposed to go to the Middle East, Egypt. Now that's, you know me, I've got a connection with Egypt, you know, I like all of that type of thing. So maybe I'm going to look into that. That's why I'm drawn to that tonight. Australia will be all right in the end. It's going through a big clearing up and a big purge. So again, it's like everything what acts out in 3 days got to come out to clean up to get better. Does that make sense? It's all cleaning up. Everything's cleaning up, and if the same thing's going to erupt over here, it's going to be like another bloody, you know, guy folks over here, like a November the 5th thing. In fact, November the 5th is that lands on when the election is, isn't it? Next year. Remember the 5th of November. Yeah, it's going to be quite a corker, and it's to do with the UK, maybe it's to do with that energy of guy folks. It's funny how France keeps coming on the equation, you know, France with the Statue of Liberty, but you've also got the French connection to do with guy folks as well. I think he was originally from there, wasn't he? Or am I wrong? But he had all the different accomplices which were with him. Were trying to blow up Parliament in the 1600s. They had the 17 barrels of, was it gunpowder and all of this, and you had Thomas, was it Winterborough or Edwards, all these different ones. And then even to this day we don't know why the people of England, we celebrate Guy Fawkes. Were we celebrating Guy Fawkes because we were on Guy's side for trying to take down Parliament? Or were we with the Crown? We just don't know, do you? Maybe we were very woke back then, I really don't know. But to this day, we celebrate Guy Fawkes, and a lot of people who are awakened see him as some sort of hero, what he tried to do. But that's the whole system is going to like sort of shake. So it will get shaky in Australia, but Australia will be the place to be into the future. Definitely leading the future technology, but they're going to try things to restrict the Aussies, but the Aussies will fight back. That's what I'm getting. What was the other thing? Was it LA? Who? Somebody was in the audience and they wanted us to look at, to do with LA. Was it to do with the weather? Was it? I've got a very dear friend who lives over in La La Land. A few nice dear clients over there. And I was actually reading for him, actually. It was at Saturday night. Or was it not Friday night? I can't remember now. No, it wasn't. It was Sunday. Because I read for him on Sunday because I wasn't online. And he said to us, my mum's just texted us to say that there's an earthquake. What's just happened? And he didn't even hear it. He didn't feel it. So let's have a look. It's that sort of crack, isn't it? And I wouldn't mind, there's a fault line. I'm sure there's a fault line. Let's just hope it's been a rumble. There is a fault line what runs through LA. I'm sure there is. There possibly could be more. So I want to send healing and blessings out. Excuse me, guys. There could be more rumbles or earthquakes to come around that area. So I want to send healing and blessings out to that area. So it's the San Andreas fault. I want to see the 26th, the 27th, 28th. I'm getting a very Turkey feeling, so there's more to come. Because you know how Turkey had one after another, so there's more to come. So I sent healing and blessings out around that area. But there's also some sort of a lot of wind. I'm hearing a lot of wind coming in. So there's something like a tornado or something, like a crazy storm to come. I know you've just had the storm Hillary, but I think that there's more to come. There is a goodness with this technology. The technology which is manipulating is also helping. And I've said this for a long time. It's not the technology, it's who's behind the technology, because you've got the good guys and the bad guys with the same technology. So there is some, I know this sounds really bizarre what I'm going to say. I want to say some sort of like good agents with a futuristic technology which could be trying to stop events as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm losing my voice. So there is another one to come, and I'm getting, I want to say the 17th as well, and that's coming through very strong. The 24th, the 26th, the 10th. But let's hope it goes. Something's trying to stop it, but there is something rumbling underneath. Excuse me. I want to say, and I've talked about this before, the ocean, that's where the massive problem is. There's some fault, and I've talked about this before, that has a problem to generate, was it Washington State, a large earthquake, and it's never talked about enough. Let's pull some cards out on that. It's called the Cascadia Subduction Zone in the ocean, outside of Oregon, Washington State. Could that cause a problem? I've looked into that before on one of my Twitch shows. Potentially, but I'm also getting off a bay, and I'm not sure if it's California. I'm worried about off the bay from California. There's something underneath the ocean as well, potentially, but it's not set in stone. It's possible. There's a fault and a crack in the seabed, and if that goes, that could be devastating. But there's something about the sea. Anything bad what's going to happen in this world will come from sea, not from land, will come from sea. Mark my words. But it's not yet, and let's hope it can stall this. It's that what's doing it. Cherry cough. It's that. It's just set it off. I'll be fine. I just burned it for Trump. I'm going to shut my eyes and I'm going to see what I can get. I'll pull one more card out for this week, for the energies for this week. Yeah, that happened in Japan, didn't it, with the sea? And I'm still seeing problems with China. There's still a lot of problems to come with China. They're going to take a fall and then they're going to rise again. But I touched upon that on my world prediction the other night, didn't I? There's going to be the end of communism eventually. Because you've got all the younger starseeds in China, which are going to start to fight back as well. So it's every country, every continent have got to go through a massive cleanse in a way to shift this. Starseeds are going to got a lot of hard work over the next couple of years. There is a Republican man, and he is, it could be that Indian fella, or I doubt it's DeSantis at the minute. I'm not so sure about him, but it's somebody who I feel could rise within the Republican Party as well. But like I say, and I'll say it again one more time, if he gets in or he doesn't get in, I'm talking about Trump. Whoever does get into the Republican Party into the future, especially male, will not let this drop. So this friction isn't going to go away even till after the next election. You're always going to have that. It's going to be going on for a long time. That is a woman of colour again, and she's coming in very, very strong for the United States of America. Who is she? I do not know. I think that there's going to be a lot of Republicans this week and next are going to take a massive fall. You know, people who are massively supporting the trumpets, Donald Trump, should I say. They're not going to be very happy. But I'm going to leave you there with a star for the night before I shut these tarot cards down. There's always a twist. Nothing sticks. Frequency and energy is changing all the time. Excuse me. I get a very Statue of Liberty again when I look at that. New America. And I'm getting a very spacey feeling as well. All this new technology coming in. Energy doesn't stay. It doesn't stick. It changes all the time. But it's funny because she's got a little scoops. Then she's putting the water back in. And look what she's got in her hand. They're little red. Are they little red horns? She's putting it back into the blue water again. You'll never get rid of the Republican Party. You'll never get rid of the Democratic Party. But there's going to be a new understanding for the future. but I also feel she's got something in her hand and she's putting it back into the water. So there is a big twist with this. But with Trump, it's not going to end the way you think it's going to end. I'll be back on through the week anyway. So I'm going to shut my eyes. And I want to see what the energies I get, the spirit energies I get around the Statue of Liberty tonight. And this is for the collective. Power to the people. Big Ben will go digital, you know. I'm going to dim the lights in here. I've gone very croaky since I've burnt that incense stick. Give us 2 minutes. I'm going to get a juice. Oh, that's better. 8. Oh. Cheers. Oh, that's nice, refreshing. See what I can pick up. This is going to be interesting because my ancestor was useless grand. See what I can pick up. You're not going to get channeling here. I doubt it. Not a full-blown channeling because I've gone croaky and tired, but I will come back on and do this. When the spirit wants to talk, the spirit wants to talk. Oh my God, I can see them all. Lincoln, the whole lot of them. It's really weird. It's like I'm going back in time, and it's like I'm going in where they all gathered, and I'm seeing them all there. And oh my God, guys, I've got to give you this. They're giving us traitor. They're giving us traitor. There's traitor. That word's coming out very strong. There's going to be stuff to come out. It's like they're standing in the White House and it's all dark and they've got torches. I don't know if it was the White House or it's somewhere else, but they're like in this place and it's all dark and they've got torches. And they're shaking their head about Trump, you know. They're shaking their head about Trump. They want it back to the way it was. They don't like it. They're saying, I'm not sure they're saying traitor with Trump or traitor around Trump, but there's something to come out about it. Lincoln doesn't like him. Is it Lincoln? You got a power cut. Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. Right, that's good. It's the old energy and it's it's rising again. Now, who was it who got shot? Was it Lincoln who got shot? Abraham Lincoln, did he get shot? Or something happened to him? I'm seeing a similar situation. And it's somebody close around Trump. Like backstabbing. morning, 15th, 16th. All these energies of these spirit are congressing, they're collecting tonight around that White House energy, but I'm also I'm sort of tuning in, I'm connecting with these spirits through the Statue of Liberty. Because they never agreed, but they agreed to disagree. It's always been like that. But there's a poisonous snake. It's gone too far. He's saying there's going to be outside foreign influence, what's going to come out within investigations, and it's going to be quite shocking. New Earth, New America, for the first time in history. If she doesn't get in this time, she's going to get in the next time. And he's saying it's not set in stone, it's a Democrat, but it is a woman. It is a woman, and she will stand in the White House. They need a break in the road. The forefathers are unsettled. But also, Abraham is not very happy about the state of America and how it's too open. And was Abraham Lincoln a Republican? He's not very happy about the borders and that. He's not very happy. They're agitated. They're so agitated. They just want to come back to sort it all out. And they're going to work through different people. And he's sad, really, because he did work through Trump. But Trump's got an ego problem. He tried to work through him, and it worked really well for a while. He influenced him to do the wall. And that's coming through very, very strong. Mike Pence traitor, he's saying. Mike Pence traitor. Watch, he's saying, watch things change there. Is he going to try and run? Oh, I'm seeing him now. Oh my God. I see all the ladies coming in now with their long dresses on. It's like beautiful. It's like very sort of gone with the wind energy. Got that Vivian Lee energy, you know what I mean? Oh God. Did you know my ancestor, Ursula's Grant? I believed he did, didn't he? Or did he? Yeah, I can see him. Was he a bit of a drinker, wasn't he? Biden hasn't got much time left. Don't worry about that. He's not the problem. Biden's not the problem. You see, Biden's not the problem. True leadership back. It's been so wobbled for a long time, and you'll not take democracy out of the USA. This was an inside attack to rip America apart. And they even used Trump. But you're going to be very shocked when it all comes out who the 17th of the letter of the alphabet truly, truly was. You will witness great change. You will witness great change. We are here to help you all. The flags will rise. People will cheer. He is only here for a short time to change the pattern of the true work, what needs to be done. We will carry on working through people. If you touch upon darkness, you retrieve, you receive darkness. We have learned so much from the spirit realm. Nobody is immune to the snake energy, to the darkest, dark energy. A lot of this is karma, what has come back on Donald Trump. And it is not to do with hating him or taking sides. It's to do what he has done through his life to this point. Because part of ascension is healing old wounds. If he does get back in, he will not last 5 minutes. Sadly, the universe is trying to take him out of the situation. Do not gloat on this. Do not hate this man. He is a true patriot, but he has learned the hard way. I did work through him, but he has many lessons to learn. Many lessons still to learn. You all need to look into the direction in the Republican Party to the younger ones, to the ones who can build the party back, to the ones who can mend and join the bridges of democracy, republic together. You will never ever take republic out of America. But if the timeline is split, there will be a split America. For the first time in human history, the United States will have 2 presidents for a short time. It is a word that will haunt the United States for 6 months. But after that, the flags will fly and a woman will stand. Goodbye. This is Lincoln. Goodbye. Goodbye. $1 a crash. It is inevitable it will crash. They will not get away with it. The people will rise. The people will rise. A new America will be born. Goodbye. This is Abraham Lincoln. Goodbye. Power to the people. I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. I'm just the girl what talks to the wall. I feel really like, whoa. I feel really privileged there to bring him through. Change is coming. Nobody can scathe. You reap what you sow. I believe Donald Trump was a systems buster. Yes, definitely so. But not a matrix fixer. No, Donald Trump was a matrix buster, not a Gaia fixer. Everyone plays their part on Earth for different reasons. I channeled Lincoln once, Lance said, and he said he is still here to watch over his country. Oh God, I can smell him. Like a leathery smell. Did he have a bit of a flicked moustache? Like a bit of a flicked moustache. Quite handsome in his day. Good things happen. And if anything, what Trump's done is he's woken a lot of people up, hasn't he? Everybody plays the part. I have a connection to him and George Washington too. That's amazing there. I'll do it again. Well, I'm off, guys. I'm off to make myself, I think, a nice hot chocolate. The museum had an automatic figure of Grant a few years ago. Wow. I know, that was my ancestor. I thought he would have come through. Maybe it's because I'm tired and it's like 2:30 in the morning. It might have something to do with it. I'll have to do it again. We'll do it again and we'll have a channeling night. But I'd have to start early doing it. Now, I'm going to say something, right? So, I've got clients which are normally booked a couple of months in advance. And obviously I've got 2 kittens coming. So it's going to be hard for us to do late night shows a Tuesday and a Thursday. I'll always do a late night show on a Sunday. So I'm considering doing it either a few hours earlier. It'll be October time, September, October when I'll be starting them. Or I might even do some afternoon shows, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that means if you're in the States, you're going to get it as morning coffee shows. But we'll work it out. You'll just randomly see us come on. Because I can't do 3 late nights a week with getting up for kittens. Do you know what I mean? So earlier might be better for the Brits as well. So I'll work it out. But it'll not be yet. But if they're anything like their mama, they're going to be up little nocturnal little minxes. So yeah, I'm going to be starting earlier shows. So I think it's possibly going to be, yeah, it'll be sometime in the fall. I'll be starting it earlier. But you'll still get your 3 shows. But it'll have to be Tuesday and Thursday will be a bit earlier. So anyway, I'll see you soon, and I'll be back on Thursday. Good night. Stay safe wherever you all are around the world, and don't worry, guys. Just don't. It's just a movie which has to play out. Remember, charity begins at home. Look after you. Look after your number one, your loved ones, your animals, your friends, your neighbours. It's biblical, and that's all I'm going to say. And take care. Good night. And I'll see you all soon. Now, how do I get out of here? Oh, yes. Right. See you soon. Bye.